All right, hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Errol E, and welcome to Every Moment with Errol E. So, before we dive in today, I want to introduce my wife, Rachel.
Mrs. Errol E.
Yes, Mrs. Errol E. herself. Now, before we dive in, we watched this show called Black Love, and it is on the OWN network. And this was an idea that I was like, oh, that would be amazing to do an episode on Black Love. And we have two wonderful couples here today, and we're going to learn about their lives. We're going to learn about marriage. We're going to learn about Black love. We're just going to have amazing, fun, great time together, just learning and having a great conversation. But before we do, like always, we're going to do that sweet introduction. And guess who voiced that introduction?
Mrs. Errol E.
Yes. All right, here we go.
You're listening to Every Moment with Errol E. We believe that every moment deserves a better story, and on this podcast, we tell those stories. Here's your host, Errol E.
All right, we are here. We are live. So let me introduce everyone right now. We have Nate and Tiffany.
Hi guys. Hey guys.
The engaged couple. And we have Jordan and Tiffany, the Hammond. So how's everyone doing today?
Doing well. Doing well.
Awesome. Yes, the OG couple, the Hammonds right there. So everyone's doing well. So how's everyone's day been so far? Whoever wants to go first. Who wants to go first? We'll go with the soon to be Davises. All right. How was your day? What was your day like?
Tiring. I was a mom all day, taking care of my 3 children. I do have 4, but 3 of them live with me. I had to do Schoology and I had to do virtual learning online with my daughter. Then I had to cook dinner. Then I had to just make sure the babies stayed without hitting each other. The 2-year-old trying to hit the newborn. So it was I didn't get no sleep last night either. So I was superwoman today, basically.
Yeah. Every day she's superwoman. My day was good. I worked, came home just recently and spent time with Tiff and the kids. And I look forward to doing that every day. So definitely something that I love.
And he took a nap. I didn't get no nap today.
The past few days I've been up, taking care of the kids and my son, our new baby boy.
But I told him I suggested he take a nap because he has to work. So I took out my time and said I'll just be selfless and basically let him take a nap and I'll stay up with the kids all day.
So, but yeah, I help out.
Mm-hmm. Right, there you go.
I help out.
That's funny. And how about the Hammonds?
You can start it off.
My day started off really rough. It did, but I'm a teacher, and so our second group of our hybrid kids came today, so it was nice to see them. So I guess it was an eventful day.
Yeah, my day was pretty normal. I went to work, got off. I mean, we had to do a little putting out a fire today. Car issue that we needed to get resolved, but that's under control now, and yeah.
I thought somebody was cooking and there was a real fire, but okay.
No.
Not this time.
Listen, we've had some smoky days over here in the Events household.
Oh yes.
They all
every time.
work. They all.
Yep. So we know the smoke detectors are doing their jobs. So how about you? How's your day?
My day was mostly uneventful. So the opposite of Tiffany. I'm also a teacher, and we're at the end of the work week because tomorrow the kids don't have school. So it was just kind of trying to get them to finish up their work. And it was a slow day. It was things that you thought were not going to take that long, just took a long time. But it's okay. That's the beauty of not having school on Friday. Thursday, you have a little more patience than you normally would. And then just did some grocery shopping, and my husband cooked tonight, so I didn't have to do that. And
Good job, Errol. Good job, Errol.
play some
Know your way
Scrabble,
around the kitchen.
take a brain break for all this. So it's not too bad, not too bad.
Awesome.
How about you, babe?
My day was good. I didn't burn the house down, so that's good.
It's always a good day.
No smoke detectors
No
here.
smoke detectors.
But it was a
Full day?
it was a full day, yeah. A little bit of an emotional day at work. We talked about mental health, and people discussed a lot of their personal stuff, which was very it was eye-opening, but it was good. You know, it's great that people are able to feel comfortable and talk about their mental health at work in a safe space, which is awesome. So there was that, and then just regular work stuff, preparing for the podcast, cooking, and a lot. Yeah. So that was my day today.
Eventful day.
Yeah. So we're gonna now dive in before we do questions and things like that. We're gonna do a fun activity.
What are we doing?
Okay.
We're gonna do a fun activity. So we're gonna ask some would you rather type of questions, and we're gonna see how you answered them. All right.
All right.
Ready? So we're gonna do let's see. We'll go with Nate and Tiffany, then we'll go with the Hammonds, then we'll go with us. With the would you rather questions.
All right.
Here we go. Ready? All right. So
I'm trying to make a watch.
so while she's making a watch party, would you rather travel to see family or travel for adventure?
You set people up for failure. People's family might be watching this.
I would rather travel to see my family because I'm big on family oriented. I love family, and I feel like that has been my biggest focus in my life, to always have a family and even enjoy my own family. So I would travel to see my family. Not so much travel for adventure, because every day in my life is an adventure. Every day I wake up, it's an adventure. Yeah.
I would say I would like to see my family as well, because family is important to me. I'm always willing to spend as much time with my family as possible, especially now with this quarantine. You know, it is social distancing is really, really getting to me, because I really miss my family, like outside of, and also spending time with Tiffany's family as well. It's difficult. So yeah, definitely family.
I guess
How you answer.
I guess I'll probably cheat a bit. So I would choose travel to see family, but a portion of my family is in Louisiana, so I guess I get to adventure too. There's some parts of Louisiana that I haven't even discovered. So
You cheated.
a little bit.
I would travel for adventure. I know like his family is kind of all over the country. Most of my family is in the same area, and we have like group chats and stuff, so we talk pretty frequently. So I'm fine to travel for myself.
So I would travel. You know, just to
You had trouble either way. Who are you traveling for?
travel for adventure.
Oh, okay.
Travel for adventure, while family's awesome, yes, but seeing the world, experiencing new things, new cultures, that would be for me.
I would change the question. I would travel to see friends. Most of my family is pretty close. And feedback. It's nice to see them, but if I'm going to travel, I'd rather travel to see my friends because I only see them about once every other year or every 2 years. So that would probably be mine. I would probably do that. If I absolutely had to choose one of these, then I probably would travel to see family over travel for adventure.
Nice. All right. Next one. Would you rather do a cross-country trip in a car or a train?
I would choose a car because a train, something might bad. I mean, it can still happen in a car, but my likely chances, I'm more secure and I know how to drive very well, so I trust that. I don't trust other people driving the train with me. No, I'm good.
For the conductor.
He's a better driver than me.
I mean, it can go off the the rail and something bad can happen, but I feel like if I'm driving, it'll be all right.
Amtrak. I mean,
It's Final Destination. We're not doing that.
Yeah.
I think I would rather. I actually trust people driving for me, but I'm not a good. See, the thing is, I'm a driver, but I fill out the traffic. I don't like, and people get crazy on the road, so I'd rather someone drive for me.
Okay.
So personally, I'm gonna enjoy myself. I want to enjoy the sights and when I'm traveling. So definitely.
So would you want a limo driver to drive you in a car? You're still in the car. You got like a chauffeur.
That would be nice, though. I mean, if
I'll chauffeur him around. Limo driver.
I gotta pay you, though. I gotta pay you tips. Money,
Yeah.
You better give her 5 stars.
Mm-hmm.
5 stars.
This one's hard. I think I've never been on a train before, so I would like the experience, but I guess she disagrees. But I like the idea of traveling in a car because I have control. Like if I'm going somewhere to see something, like I want to stay as long as I want to stay. I don't want someone to say be back on the train at whatever time. I'm also thinking like on a train, I've never been on one, so I could be wrong, but on a train, aren't there other people? Like I'd kind of rather just be around the people I want to be with. So I'd pick a car.
Cool.
I would choose a train. Never been on one. I think it would be pretty interesting. I've researched a little bit. I think it's pretty decent. I might try at least once. So I would cross country in a train. Because a car, I think, was like packed. And it's like you get car sick, you get just tired. Whereas a train, you have
sick?
more.
You can't tell the conductor pull over. See, in the car.
True.
Yeah, I mean, but they got bathrooms in the train, so
True.
So you're good there. So with me, I would definitely do a train. One of my goals is to go to Canada and drive through the Canadian mountains on a train. That would be amazing. Just being able to just drive or sit in a train while it's going through the mountains or anywhere like that. That would be just amazing. But it has to be that old school train, like 1950s style train where they had to take the pole and stuff and things like not this modern like bullet train or something like that. No, I want the real experience back in the day. Kind of like what was that Pixar movie?
Polar Express.
Polar Express.
I was thinking, as soon as you said train old school, I thought about Polar Express.
Always.
And I know you're gonna bring your camera and take pictures outside. Probably hang out the window while the train's going by. Like this. Taking pictures like this. I know you.
Pretty much.
I think the hard part about a cross-country trip is the return. So that's how I have to kind of make my decision. If it was one way, like say we were moving or something like that, I want the train. Put the car on the train, and then when we get there, I have my car. We can drive it around, whatever. But if I have to come back, sometimes trains be slower than cars. You know what I mean? Like them trips be taking a minute, and yes, you get to walk around from car to car, and you got your dining car and your sleeping car and all that stuff. But if you next to somebody funky, that's who you with. And I don't know.
Oh wow. She
All
kept
that
it real.
time. And so I think I have to go with car. I think I have to.
Okay.
But you can move to another cart.
No. You have a seat. You do get seats. You do you do get seats. And I mean, the funky person might be me, but I still would like to escape if I want to.
Oh wow. Too funny.
So, that's awesome. That's awesome. So
I feel like we're all warmed up.
we're all warmed up.
Yeah.
All right, I got two
You want
more.
another one?
Two more questions. Two more. All right.
2 more.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, we got
Your
one.
podcast.
All right.
I'm ready.
So it's all about we're gonna do more building type thing. Would you rather build a Fortune 500 company successfully or backpack through Europe without a penny?
Why would anyone do this?
I'm gonna do the Fortune 500 company. I don't know about backpacking through Europe without a penny because
Yeah, why would I want to
I can get killed and murdered. Something bad can happen to me. I ain't that smart when it comes to like traveling places alone. Like I don't know that much about Europe, and they probably I would be captured and probably be sold as a sex slave or something. So I don't want to be like that. Because you know how different foreign companies they do take people, and I'll be the one to be taken because I would trust everybody thinking they're out to help me. They probably be scamming me.
That's why you need your travel
No,
partner.
so I'd rather do a Fortune 500 company and let it be successful.
Wait.
I like that. better.
Change it up. Would you rather fail at building would you rather fail at building a 500 company or backpack through Europe with a bunch of money?
All right, we'll flip the question around.
With a bunch of money, yes, probably.
Yeah,
I
so
love
you
to
would
travel.
do the
I would love to
backpack.
travel.
Backpack.
I have a
With lot
backpack
of
on.
money.
It's still backpacking, but you
Okay.
you got cheddar. But you still like
No, because then somebody might rob me too. So I'm telling you, I'm not. Nate knows me.
I know her.
Nate knows
Yeah,
like
that's not
I'm
gonna work.
easily like somebody just has a begging story like, oh, I'm homeless, and they might not be homeless. They could be crying, and then I feed into it. And I almost got my throat slit the other day because I was helping somebody, and they really weren't needing no help. So I can be easily conned.
Yeah.
So
Well,
no, that wouldn't work for me. With a
that's
backpack on, no car,
Okay,
I have
so
no
we're
car
gonna
to escape.
So Tiffany gonna
Nothing.
do a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah, I'll stick with that. Yeah.
I'll stick with that.
All right, how about you, Nate? What about you?
I think the Fortune 500 company is good because we always talk about being partners and business partners. And she is my business partner as it is anyway. So I think a business partner would be great in doing a Fortune 500 company. And plus, you know, we work together well. So, yeah, I can see that.
The Hammonds?
You can go first this time.
I mean, I would definitely go with building a Fortune 500 company as well.
But are you going with the option? Are you going with the original scenario?
because it's been modified. Failed at building a company.
Oh, fail.
Or would you fail at
I
building
forgot
that
about that.
Fortune
Oh, the
500?
film part? No failing. I thought win. No.
We had to make it more interesting. Would you rather have the
man.
Fortune 500 company that went bust,
That money lost.
or backpack through Europe and you got plenty of money?
Well, I'll be backpacking it then. I guess I'll try to survive with my little book bag.
And with our kids too. Yeah.
No, because they never said people can come with you. I might be alone. You know, I had to do the best.
Be alone? What you talking about? What you mean? You got all that money. What you gonna do with all that money, huh?
I'm gonna eat out.
Spend all your money out on food.
I mean, I like to eat out, try different foods. So yeah.
All right, let's go back to the hit and see what they say.
I think I would pick the Fortune 500 company, even if it failed. I'm thinking about the networking part of it. Like, I just think there'd be like experience, even though you fail. I mean, you have experience and you know people who like know what your skills are that could probably help you build a successful one the next time around.
I like that.
I was going to say I would still build the Fortune 500 company and fail, because then I can just write a book on how failure is the new success, like all these other wonderful people do.
Failure is the new success.
That's good. That's good.
And they tell you got to fail at a couple businesses before you hit it anyway. So I just be like, it's fine. I'll be back.
Same here for me. Fortune 500 company. No, if you fail, You learn from that, and then you try to grow and make something else, make something better, and kind of go from there. But final one before we go into the amazing questions is: would you rather have a simple, small home in your dream location or a home of your dreams in an ordinary place?
You gotta be really thinking, Errol.
Yeah, me too. Hold on.
Oh my God. You'd rather.
And if the hands want to go, if you want to switch and a little bit more time to think.
You know,
Yeah, I gotta think.
Oh, I know mine.
Which one you rather do?
I actually like both of them, but I'm gonna go with my dream home because it seems like it's so hard to reach. So I'd rather have that. I have a $400,000 house that I want, a Toll Brother home. So I'd rather have that, and I can just make it work because my house is my peace. So if I'm in my house and it's the house I love, I should be happy where I'm at, regardless of where the location is. So that's how I see that with that. As long as I have what I wanted, I have peace in my house. So
Okay. I agree because I feel like your house is your sanctuary, and if you can't feel comfortable being home, where are you comfortable at? You have to be comfortable in your dream home. So we always talked about having a dream home anyway. So that would definitely be something that we're looking for. Definitely. So yeah, I'll say the dream home in a common, ordinary place.
Yeah. Dream home, ordinary place. I'm good.
I guess I'm wondering what a dream location means. Like the perfect neighborhood or like the perfect city?
Like, some people want to be like in Hawaii, or they want to be on the coast of California, or they want to be in Vancouver. But they might not be able to afford a luxurious house there. But to just be out there and have a house where they can like overlook the water, or be right there in the middle of nature, or on the top of some hill that overlooks the entire city, like to them, that would be like a dream location.
Okay. Well, I'm going to cheat this time and say both. I think right now, as my young self, I definitely want my dream home in an ordinary place. But I think when I'm like older and like the kids are out of the house and it's just kind of looks like what it looks like, that I would be okay with like a small house in like some other location that does have really nice scenery.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I would do a small home in a dream location. Just because if you have that location, that place where you want to live, you can just build that nice tiny home. I like, me personally, I love looking at those tiny houses shows and stuff. Just that uniqueness of the home. That's kind of where I would like gravitate towards. Just more like making sure I have that location. Because if I have that location, that value of that tiny home is going to go up too, as well, depending on where I place it. So
I was also thinking, can I just say one last thing? I was also thinking about this, pass it on to my children after we get older and retire. And because we already talked about this a long time ago. I want to be a world traveler and retire and travel the whole entire world. The kids are grown, so we don't gotta take care of them and take care of themselves. But we can have a place for them to go, a central place. If they decide to come back, they can own that place. So we pass it on as this generational wealth. So we pass on the place. I mean, they used to do that back in the day. In my family used to pass on a place, mom and pop's place, where they used to stay. And this is where I grew up. This is where all the memories are there. You know what I'm saying? And when they have kids, they pass on to their kids. Keep the family together,
I don't really have a place that I would say is a dream location right now. For me, dream location is being near people I like and love. So I would rather have the home I dream in an ordinary place, because right now most of my people live in ordinary places. So yeah.
Awesome. All right. So, are you ready for story time?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. How did you meet and the origin of your story and start dating? So, how did y'all meet?
Want the PG version?
Keep it clean.
Oh my gosh. No, I met him at Women's University. I did like him, but he was interested in some African girl. He kept chasing her around. And he wasn't looking at me. So I was like, okay, whatever. And plus he was annoying too. He's like always coming in about a business. Like he said he had a business and he's a teacher. See, he had it all together and I didn't. I was only like 21 years old and I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I was going through majors and stuff. So I was kind of jealous of him because I'm like, this man keeps coming here. I wish I had a business, and it was a teacher. I was like, okay. So then I left the school. I had a new relationship. I really didn't like that relationship, but Errol knew about this person. Errol said, no, leave him alone. This bad person, but everything turned out. I have a beautiful child. But then later on, I moved to Maryland, and then I moved back to Delaware 3 years later, and I saw Nate in the library. I was going to not come over. I was just like, this makes it get on my nerves. Should I come over and say hi? So I did. And he was like, oh, your name Tiffany, right? And I was like, yes. Yeah. And then we went to the McDonald's. I live next to near McDonald's. And we sat there on Main Street and we talked. At first, I didn't think he was going to talk to me because I have a disability. And he was like, that's it? I was like, yeah. And when I told him disability, what it was. And he did not care. And he really respected me for me. I realized that he changed. He wasn't immature anymore from when I knew him at Women's University. And I realized that and plus he says, this is how he got me.
Oh my God.
I know how to treat a woman. So then I said, I know how to treat a man. So I was like, let's just see what this goes with this. Because I never had a man that said he know how to treat a woman, like really know how, So I was interested. He got me intrigued to find out. And then ever since then, we were together every single day. He stayed in my house, like everything.
I took the bus. This is when I was taking the bus. I didn't have a car. I wasn't balling out. I didn't have a whip. I didn't have none of that. I just took the bus. I took 4 buses to get to work every day.
And I think it was like a love travel with fantasy.
And like I was actually learning Braille at the time when you saw me. I was at the computer lab at the Newark Free Library because it was quiet and doing my own thing. She comes up, she's like, hey. I'm like looking at her like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm like, you see this beautiful woman? I'm like, okay. I'll take a break. But late, I never got my work done, by the way. I didn't finish my homework. I was supposed to do homework and I didn't finish, but I was distracted.
And I was supposed to take care of my house. I just moved into my apartment. And when I met him, I didn't get no curtains. I didn't get no sofa. It was all about him and all on him. And I actually fell in love really fast because he was a very charmer. He knew how to talk to me. He knew how to understand me. And it wasn't so much about me. It's just him as a person because he's genuine. He has a good heart. He loves to help people and he really believes in God and he has a relationship with God, which really drew me to him, because his relationship with God and I do too. So that was a big thing for me.
See, the thing is, let me just tell you this real quick. I don't want to take too long, but Tiffany was a beautiful spirit and she had a glow about her when I met her. And it was sitting at McDonald's when I knew. I'm like, man, this woman is beautiful. Okay. I'm like, man, you know what I mean? But I didn't see a disability. When you say I had a disability, I'm like, that's it. Because I have a learning disability too. I work with kids with disabilities. That's what I do for a living. So to me, that's not a big deal. Like, whatever. Okay.
So, and the start dating part, it happened immediately.
Yeah. As soon as possible. Yeah. And ever since we've been together, ever since.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. So, Hammonds, how did y'all meet?
Go
You've been
ahead.
telling the
Why
story,
don't you
and
tell
I
the
can't.
story?
No. I'll
Okay.
add to it.
Okay,
I'll
so
add
you'll be
to
like
it.
the commentator.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was 8 years ago. It'll be 9 come January.
Yeah.
We actually met at a youth conference in like the DC area. But the funny part is like we went to churches that were like 20 minutes apart from each other, but I didn't know him and he didn't know me. I like remember like catching each other's eye a couple times of the thing, but I was just like, oh, like he's cute, but I didn't really think anything of it. But me being the outgoing person I was, I guess I went up to you and I asked him what his name was.
And to me, it still doesn't make sense. Like she came up, she asked me what my name was. Hello, my name is Jordan.
That's
I
not
asked her
all.
for her
You ain't
name.
say all that.
But then, like, there was a moment where she was like, "I wonder what."
Stop. No. That part is irrelevant. That part is not important to the story. But we met at a youth conference in DC, and then he actually didn't like ask for my number or anything. Apparently, someone else saw me first.
Yeah, because it was like we were younger, kind of like that little boys code. One of my friends at the time was interested in her, so he called her. I was like, "Hey, I want to talk to her, whatever." So I was just chilling. He approached her and it was like, "Okay, whatever." And then I think it was once we came back. Was it that same event? I think once we came back from the event, things dried up with them. So I was like, "All right, here I come." I asked for a number, texted her, and yeah, we hit it off from there.
I don't know if we hit it all.
Ah,
We were friends for a couple years. I liked him, but I didn't think he liked me. At one point, he was like, I think dating in high school is pointless. So I was like, oh, I guess we're not going to date each other.
She also had boyfriends at the time. So it's not like I chose to be the friend. I was like, okay, I'm going to patiently wait for my time and then go in. So I would check
But the
in.
way he's saying that makes it sound like I had a boyfriend and then we broke up. And then right after that, when I had another one, it was not like that.
But yeah, at that time, I kind of had to go. So it was kind of like.
Timing was off until
Yeah.
it wasn't. But that's how we met. And we started, when did we start dating though? 2 years later? Yeah, 2 years after we met is when we started dating.
Yeah.
Aw,
That's nice.
that's beautiful. So you've been what? They've been
for 2 years.
yeah. So how we met? So I always like to do this because we recorded it over there when we did our engagement video thing. So we met on an app called Hinge, and that's how we met. And yeah,
Really, that's what, wow. There's
No.
no build up. The
There's-
story needs a rising
So-
action, some type of something. You
all
know.
right. So we met on an app called Hinge, and
Do you remember anything about the experience?
Yes.
Because we did not just meet on Hinge and then now we're married.
Yeah. So we met on Hinge and we was talking on there.
Were we?
Well, I was messaging, and then you was like, "Well, I don't use this app that much,
That's accurate.
so here's my number." But I didn't know. And here's the thing: like, I knew your sister Renee from a photo shoot, but I couldn't connect the two together that you was related to her at all. So I was just like, okay. And then we met at Battery Park, and it was, I'm trying to remember how I dressed. I think I had like
It ain't about you. What do you remember about me?
that first time I saw you, I was like, wow,
Mm-hmm.
she's beautiful.
That's the right reaction. Jerry.
No, and seriously, and I was like, wow, she's gorgeous. And then the smile
Mm-hmm.
right there. Mm-hmm.
I can't wait till you finish so I can tell my side.
Okay, and it was just like, it was amazing, you know, just talking to you, and like I was like, you know, you believe in God, you love God, and just how I felt like you had a great presence and about you. So, and I felt very comfortable. So.
Yeah. Okay, let me back up and tell y'all my story. So we're on Hinge. For those who don't know Hinge, it is a dating app that's based off of your friends of friends on Facebook. So someone that you know knows that person. So that at least gave me like a level of security when I went on, because I knew whoever I saw on there, I could backtrack and find out who they were friends with and just be like, so what's the deal with blah, 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 you know? At the time, I remember liking his profile picture, but one thing you'll know about Errol, if you've seen any of his profile pictures, is they all look completely different. He looks different in every single picture.
So true.
I remember every single profile picture looked different, but the way that Hinge works is you don't like a picture. Well, you can like a picture, but you can also like what people have written to answer questions. Mm-hmm. And the thing that he liked on mine was the fact that I said I love God and I love kids. Mm-hmm. And I just like, oh, like that's the thing that stood out to him. And so I was talking to him and talking to another guy, and the other guy just wasn't doing that great responding. And so I was like, well, at least this guy's responding. So I was like, I don't do great on this. Let's text. So we texted for a little bit and met up. And I just remember we went to Barry Park. We talked for like 2 hours. It was super easy. And I was hungry. Like I was so hungry. And I just kept hinting like, I'm so hungry. Like I could really eat. And I was like, he really not going to offer to feed me. And that's when I was like, I don't think this is the one, because I feel like if I'm telling you how many times I need to, this is one of my core values. Being fed is a core value of mine.
Yeah, that's true.
So he just missed the mark, you all. And so I went and I fed myself, and I just thought, once I had to think a little bit more rationally. I think a little more rationally when I had some food in me. And I said, it was a nice time. Like we'll go on an official date. We went on an official date. He, fed me, and it was a fun time. And from there, it was pretty much always just like, all right, yeah, like let's keep doing this. He's a good guy. Yeah.
No. So, yeah. I mean, yeah. But now I know. Feed her.
Feed me.
Feed her. Yeah. Now the all moments. Ready? Here we go. What was the proposal like?
Mm-hmm. Oh wow. It was weird. Very weird.
Weird.
It was weird.
Okay.
Weird. It was in front of everybody at the mall.
The Christiana Mall.
Everyone's like, yeah. Very strange. Yeah.
It's spontaneous.
Yeah, he's gonna do it again because we kind of had like a separation, but we're back. We're back. We don't. It was only like 24 hours. We don't so he's gonna do it the right way. I don't know how he's gonna do it because the ball is basically in his corner. Because before it was in my corner because I picked out the ring and all that. I didn't even want to do that.
Here's the thing, though.
But the ring is actually it was too gaudy because I'm not about that like all diamonds and that's not me. I like something with art. Like I'm very artistic, so I like art rooms. So maybe he'll give me like a wooden ring or something, or artsy with flowers or something. I'm not that really about diamonds. I know I'm weird because they say so a woman's diamonds, but not me. I'm not like that. So I know when he does it again, it'll be beautiful. That ring, I chucked the ring. I threw $1,000 ring out the window. So yeah, that's how much I cared about that ring. So it's gone. So he's gonna give me the right ring. We're not gonna go into why I checked the ring.
It's $1,000 ring out there.
But that's how much I care about money. I don't really care about money. So it's like if somebody told me, or like diamonds and money and stuff like that. Like if somebody told me like, would you sell your husband, for $1 million? I'll rip that money in their face. That's how much I care about money or diamonds and stuff. I don't care. $20 bills. Yep.
So the proposal.
The proposal. So you're gonna redo the proposal.
Redo it.
Yes, redo it basically. But the first time it was in front of Christiana Mall. That's what that was.
She don't like gaudiness.
All right, so now you know Don't propose
Yeah.
in front of Christiana Mall.
Okay. I
All Chinese.
thought it was romantic.
Make
I
sure
thought,
it's
honestly-
like nature's ring, you know,
Okay.
Yes.
wearing something, and you'll be good, you know.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Oh,
Got
man.
So that,
I'm learning.
there you go. Hammond.
I got her a gaudy ring and she threw it out the window. Hey, you know,
All right.
I get it now.
You get it now.
I get it now.
So, Hammond, take it away.
So the proposal. So first, leading up to the proposal, I think it was 3 months before I figured out when I was going to propose to her. I went with my uncle, or who I call my uncle, and my brother to look at rings. I knew she liked princess cut. She sent me a lot of ideas. Didn't know exactly what the cuts were. I relied on the dealer because I didn't know. Is this princess cut? I don't know. They all look the same kind of. But I first went there 3 months before. Didn't buy a ring at that time. And I think I came back a month before I knew I was going to propose. Bought the ring. Sent the picture to my brother, my uncle. And like, yeah, it's going down. So the day comes. It was her graduation party. Now, she was a bit upset this day because she had to share her party with 2 other people. My brother and his
I
girlfriend.
still have to clarify. You go ahead. You keep going.
So I was a little bothered by it. I was like, hey, you're spending time with essentially family. Y'all are all celebrating, but she was bothered. She really didn't even want to come. So I was like, if you don't go, my plans are messed up. But we had a great mother-in-law and some friends that encouraged her to go. She got dressed up, and we were there. I think we were probably about like an hour into the celebration, and I played our favorite song.
Our song.
Yeah, well, we have multiple, but the first favorite song that we had. So that was playing in the background, and I had everyone kind of gather in a semicircle. And I'm really glad that I had public speaking back in high school because I was nervous and I could have easily stumbled over all of my words. So I started giving my speech. At this time, Tiffany's body language was confusing to me because she was standing there. I was expecting her to be like, oh my gosh, what is happening? What is happening? And so I'm giving my speech, and it wasn't until I got on my knee that she understood that this was going to be a proposal. So I got her because she thought she at the time figured out when I was going to propose. At one time, she was upset with me because I was like, I thought you were going to propose on this date, and you didn't. I was like, well, geez, like if you knew, it would be a surprise. But yeah, the graduation party, proposed, and yeah, here we are.
Oh.
Just
Good.
continue. Added.
I also have to give some context. There was definitely a time. There were 2 times I thought he was going to propose. Once because he told me the exact date he was going to propose and he didn't.
I don't remember that.
It's okay. And then a second time because we were supposed to hang out, and he was like, "Well, don't come before such and such a time." And I was like, "He never says that. Like, we just pick a time." So I text my friend. I'm like, "I think he's going to propose." She was like, "Sis, don't get your hopes up and then get over there and get upset." And I sure enough got upset. But I was not mainly upset that I was sharing my graduation party. Like in my mind, I had planned out my graduation party maybe a month or so in advance, and like it didn't come together. But I don't know why. Like it didn't come together. I also I was making my graduation cap, and someone was like, "Oh, there's going to be a graduation party for your brother and your sister, so we're just going to throw you in there. We might as well just celebrate all the graduates." So I was a bit of an afterthought as well. Like it wasn't like someone was like, "We're planning this for you," but it was like, "We're going to throw you in there, and it's Father's Day weekend, so we're going to celebrate the fathers. You know what? It's just going to be a summer bash." Like that was how it was said to me. And then that day, my job was like, "Oh, you guys need to come in at 7 a.m. It was Saturday. So we were all very upset. So I was upset at that. I was upset that I was having to like drive to this party that wasn't really mine, but I was supposed to be there. And my friends were so nice. They were like, sis, you really need to get over it and just be excited. I'm texting my mom. She's calling me like, sweetheart, like just be excited and celebrate them and bring your singing voice in case someone asks you to sing. Like those were her exact words. I don't even know what that means. But we did. My friends, I had planned my outfit. They were like, that's not the one. You need to wear the one dress from the one event, which I didn't have. So I had to go get it. It was a lot. Anyway, we got there. When he says we were an hour in, he means we were an hour late starting because there was a lot of delay with like the speakers and music and people showing up and stuff. Now, when it gets to the time he's supposed to propose, he did put our song on and his mom is like, all right, we about to eat. And I'm like, finally. She's like, but we're going to take pictures first. So we go into the I'm hungry. I'm like Rachel at this point. I'm like, let's like feed me before I get upset. So I'm like, pictures, like we could have been taking pictures. Like, okay, so we go over and the grass people do a semicircle around. And I'm like, oh, Jordan, you're playing our song. He was like, yeah. And he put his arm around me. Nothing. People are standing in a circle with their phones out. Nothing. I'm like, they're taking our picture. That's what he said. He's saying all these words. And I'm like, yo, like, can we take the picture? And then at one point I'm like, oh my gosh, is he going to propose? And I did smile. I don't know if you saw it in the video, but then I'm like, nah. I done got my hopes up twice now. I'm not about to have a third time. So yeah, it was when he got down on his knee that I finally realized.
Aww.
He did good. He did good.
Oh,
Realizing he fell.
good job.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I'll let you take this one.
All right. Yes.
Yeah, you did all the work. So
yes.
Go for it.
So prior to the proposal, I had this dream about.
Actually, let me back up real quick. Timeline wise, we started dating in October, okay, and my birthday was in November. He was coming to meet my family on my birthday, and I remember telling all of them, if this man asks you if I'm ready to get married, you all tell him no. I did the same thing around Christmas. I said, if this man tries to propose, you tell him no. We just started dating. Okay, so now we're in February.
Yes, we're in February.
Just
so I had this dream about a ring, and like I could picture it. It's visual, and I was like, I gotta find this ring. So I'm online, and I'm like going through like stuff on Bing, and I'm like, where's the ring? Where's the ring? I have it clear as day in my head, and I saw it. So I go click. It's on Zales. And I see it, and it says sold. My bad, and it says sold out. And I was like, crap. So I went into the Zales place in the mall, and I was like, hey, do you have this ring? And the lady's like, well, let's see. So she's looking, and she's like, is this it? I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, this is it. And then I was like, hold on to it. She's like, I'll place it right back in the case, but that's it, what we can do, unless you want to put a deposit. I was like, all right, hold on. So I left, and then I heard, turn back around and get the ring now. And I was like, okay. So I went in, got the ring, and then I was like, all right, I want to make this proposal special. So I wanted to do this from first to forever. So all the first places we went. Huh?
Someone's feedback.
Oh, all right. So from first to forever. So what was that like? So we went to Battery Park. So that's one of the first places we met
in February.
So
it's there in the cold.
It's cold outside. So we went there. And then after that, I was like, hey, I would like to take you to this like awesome place before we go to this pizza place. And she didn't know where it was. I was like, I want to show you this nice place. It's really cool. And it's awesome. So we went to Gibraltar Park, and it's in Wilmington. So if you haven't been there, I don't know, how would you describe it? It's scary. Like, if you went there, like, at night, you'd be skeeved out, like, yo, you gonna, like, kill me or something? Like, it's weird. But in the daytime, it's beautiful. I mean, it's run down, but then it's, like, this beautiful garden area. But, so we went there, and we parked, and then this lady, parts, and then she's like, "Are you here for pictures?" And I didn't hear her at first, and then you was like, "Babe, she's talking to us." And I was
So
like,
I thought, okay, so I pretty much knew he was going to propose because he's going through this whole hullabaloo. And I said, okay, he's clearly like hired this photographer lady. And then she's like, go get one of the dresses from the back. And I said, babe, like she's saying to go get a dress from the back. And he's like, I don't know that woman.
I'm like, I don't know that woman. Like, he's like, but aren't you here for photos? The maternity shoot? And we're like,
I said, I ain't got no baby.
I'm like, no. So I'm like, we're walking and we're doing like a selfie video. And I'm like, you know, this is just wonderful. And you're just looking like.
It was frozen wasteland.
It was frozen.
It was February. Everything was dead. It was cold. There was nothing grown. There was no color. And he was just like, oh, this is so beautiful. So then he threw me off. I was like, maybe he's not proposing. Maybe he just has a very different idea of what a date day looks like. That's all.
Yes. And then we went to the pizza place and we had some
Elizabeth. We didn't go like a Pizza Hut. It's a very nice pizza by Elizabeth.
Yes. So we ate and the food was like banging. And then we went to Longwood Gardens. So because that was where I asked her out. So we're there and stuff like that. And they're about to close. I didn't even realize like time-wise when they were about to close.
So at this point, I'm over him because I was for sure that he was going to propose. And I've been through this whole day and he hasn't proposed. We've been to all the nice exhibits. He hasn't proposed. I don't understand what's happening. I'm like, this man is dense. Like he's missing the moment. We're about to leave and go to the car. And I'm in my feelings. I'm like, forget it. Because I didn't want him to propose other times. And I was like, I'm ready now. Like, what are you doing? You're wasting my time.
So in my head, I'm like, all right, I have this idea. So we about to leave I think it was called the atrium where they have all the different plants and stuff. The orchids or
just go ahead.
Yeah, those plants. So we're in there, and I was like, "Oh, let's get a photo right here." So I'm looking around for someone to take our photo, and grace of God, these two girls tapped you on the shoulders, like, "Hey, can you take our photo?" So you're distracted. I was like, "Yes, this is perfect." So I'm looking around, and I'm like, I don't think like this couple is gonna be able to take the photo. But then I saw someone with a camera. I'm like, they know how to take photos just because they had a camera. So I walked up and I was like, hey man, can you take our photo? He's like, sure. And I was like, I'm about to propose to her. And he was like, oh man, like he was hyped. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I told him like hit the record button, but you can still take photos. So he's like, all right. So we're like, smile, cheese. And then after that, I turned around and I said like how much you mean to me and I love you. And I went down on one knee and I proposed and I said, will you marry me? And then he was like, yes.
Yeah, I don't know what he said to me. I just saw things unfolding and I was like, this is happening. I thought he had missed his moment, but he got it. And then the guy gave him back his phone.
Yeah.
We watched it in the car. I just start crying. And I'm like, we're engaged. He's like, we were both there. And I go, I'm a slow processor.
And my heart was racing so fast too as well. It was
President's Day.
It was President's Day, yes. But that was our proposal right there. Now, the moment or a series of moments that you wanted to marry this person.
I don't know. You want to take this one? Yeah. All right, I'll take this one. All right. The moment I realized Tiffany was the one for me was, I think it definitely was, to pinpoint the moment, it was different because she would give me like gifts and I wasn't used to that. And I'm like, why is she giving me gifts? Is she trying to kill me? Is she trying to rob me? Is she trying to, because I have bad run-ins with women in the past. Really bad. So I didn't trust her. I was honest with her. I said, the only woman who can love me is my mother, or I can truly love, because I've been hurt by a lot of women in the past. She knows that. And, you know, my days, my single days, you know. So I didn't trust her. I said, I don't trust anybody. And she's like, well, I come with trust. She said, I come with trust. And I want you to be able to bring those walls down. And when she said that, I was looking at her like, she's got me sneakers, a leather jacket. And I'm like, this girl, I can't figure her out. I talked to my friend. I'm like, hold on. Is she up to something? She has to be planning something, up to something, trying to use me, take my money. Well, like, what is it? You know? And no, she's like, no, I don't want your money. I don't want any of that. I just want you. And I said, really? I don't know what feels like. I don't know what that actually feels like, someone actually who wants you. So to me, that was amazing.
Okay. Well, mine was 3 months into the relationship. I had the best days of my life, 3 months of my life, and I didn't want it to end, you know. Sometimes, like I tell him all the time, I wish time would just stop and it just be me and him for years and years. It just stops, and there would be no, you know, like the COVID, nothing bad would be happening. Just stop. Time just stop. Like when you're in that moment with your lover and you're just in that place, that blessed place, that good place in God, and you just want it to stop because you know later on one day in heaven there's not going to be marriage. You know, that's what they say. So I'd be like, Lord, don't come back yet. Just stop. Stop the time, please. Let me just have this moment. But like I said, it was 3 months, and then what was the question? Moments. Okay, that was one of them. 3 months, and then that period that, you know, he left for that second, I knew he was the one. And you realize, you don't realize how much when they're gone, you know, how much you really love a person until they have their moment. Because he said, I have to be with the Lord. He's like, I have to find myself in him. And I didn't understand. And he was like, I can't love you the same way. I was like, David, I love you. Don't leave me. I love you.
I was going through some stuff, man. Like I had, prior to me meeting Tiffany, I was robbed. I was hit over the head, almost died, saw my body. So I didn't trust a lot of people. I didn't have a lot of trust. And so I went through a lot of pain and depression and things like that. And she was there for me, you know.
And I feel like too, he hit it well. Yeah. I didn't know he was going through because he's a good actress. He can act like he's not going through. But now that we've been together, I know him when he's upset. He can act all day, but I can see it in his eyes or his emotions that he's upset. Yeah. So in the beginning, I didn't know he was broken. I thought he was whole, but he was definitely worth waiting for. He still is. I will climb to ends of the earth to wait for him. You know, it doesn't matter where we find each other. I'll always be there for him. I love him. And when it comes to, like he said about, I come with trust. I came with trust, meaning that, you know, in life, anybody can treat you wrong. You know, your family, you know how they are. They sometimes misuse your trust. But if you're a stranger, I trust you more because you never gave me a reason not to trust you. You know what I mean? So I have more, you have 100% of my trust until you do something that you shouldn't do. And then I back up and then I'm out of your life. So that's what he means when he said I come with trust. So I automatically, he had my 10 points automatically. So when he blew me away, that's when like I said, it was only 3 months. I was willing to marry him.
I never heard.
And get on my knee. I know that's weird, but I was like, I'll get on my knee and tell you because he's so amazing. When the 3 months is amazing in my life. Yeah.
Oh, very sweet.
That's sweet.
Yes, she's my queen.
Oh, thank you.
Who's going first? Series of moments. I wouldn't say there was one particular moment where I was like, all right, this is it. I think it was just like over time. He was really patient with me. There were things I didn't know as far as like with me. I just had like a very fairy tale view of love and relationships and marriage. And so I thought anytime he did something wrong, I was like, you're not it. I'm trying to think of one of the first things I was like, wow, I guess it's not him. And it wasn't that. Like, if we had a disagreement, I'm like, wow, like, he really blew it. But it's like, I didn't know. And it's probably from watching TV. But, like, I didn't know that, like, a disagreement doesn't mean that we're not meant. But, like, you have a conversation and you grow together. And it probably took me, I don't know, a year and a half. I remember we were like, it was a late night. I think we went to Walmart. He loves going to Walmart. And we went to Walmart and we were riding back. He was taking me home. And I was like, wow, like, I realized, just because you have disagreements doesn't mean you can't be together. He was like, wow, you're just realizing that. So he was with me in that area. That's something that I learned from him. He was also like willing to make change. Like, if there was something that I was like, Jordan, when you do this, like, it makes me feel bad, or I don't like when you do this, he would be like, okay, like, I'll work on it. Actually, I think also this one big moment was we had a falling out, and I was like, oh, all right. And he was like, no. And I was like, yes. But he bought me this huge bear. Like, I had always wanted this, like, those big life-size bears. And he wanted to give me the bear. And I was like, I don't want the bear. And he was like, but I got it for you. And we lived 45 minutes apart. He drove me the bear. On campus. Yeah, I remember that. No, I was at my parents' house that time.
Oh, then there was another time that I came.
Well, yeah.
To you at campus.
Yeah. But yeah. Yeah. I'll leave it at those ones.
So for me, I would say there were two moments. The first one, I wouldn't say I was ready to marry her, but I knew that I really had a desire to be with her. It was when we were just dating. We had one of the fallout moments. I don't believe it was the same one, but because Tiffany was more mature than me at the time, and I had a lot of growing to do as like a young man. I was very selfish, just focused on myself, and Tiffany wasn't having any of that. So we ended up kind of breaking up for like a short period of time, but
just literally a few days.
Yeah, but during that time, I was hurt, of course, because I really cared for her. But there was like a moment that I realized, like, I wanted to get back with her, not because I didn't want to have to face the pain of losing someone you care about, but it was like, like I really desire to be with this young lady, and she benefits me. I mean, I've been almost forced to grow in order to stay with her, and I'm like, long term, like someone that kind of helps you to grow as a man, like that's the woman I want to be with. And I also remember there was a moment where, I was definitely praying and I was reading scripture, and I'm mad because I didn't commit it to memory. I don't think I told you, but there were several scriptures that I read. I was like, yo, she fits. So I was like, at that point, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do everything that I can to continue to pursue her and make her my wife.
Those two things.
Those two, yeah.
You never told me that second one.
Yeah, but I was praying a lot. Sometimes we had some disagreements. I was like, oh, Jesus, I'm not so sure. But yeah.
You're sure now?
That's beautiful.
I'll go. I need to go to the bathroom. Okay, so as I told you all, my birthday, I was like, make sure you tell this man, don't try to marry me. And then Christmas, I was like, make sure you tell this man, don't try to marry me. And then it was towards the end of my Christmas break. Once again, my teacher says off for about 2 weeks. And the first half, I was on heavy, like, tell this man, don't you dare propose over the holidays. And then towards the end of it, I was having a lot of talks with God, and he was basically like, I mean, he didn't say this, but basically, like, this is like the Rachel translation. There's a King James version, all that stuff. This is the Rachel version. And he was basically like, you crazy. Like, you've been praying for this for so many years. And then I sent it to you, and you keep telling everybody, basically, make sure it don't happen. Like, why are you trying to sabotage your own blessing? And then I was like, oh, well. And I remember my my sister Renee's voice in my head. I mean, her voice came in my head. What happened when I went to buy my house? I had been looking for my house for months and months and months and months. I said, look for houses like online dating. You're just like, this ain't it. This ain't it. I think it's it. You go check it out in real life. This ain't it. Anywho, and so I was so exhausted. And then found the house that I liked. And then they were like, we're going to closing in like 3 weeks. And I was like, I didn't think it was going to be this quick. I thought I had more time. And Renee was like, people stay praying for stuff and they prepare for the blessing. I said, oh, Lord. So that is what I heard in my head over Christmas break. He's like, you've been praying for this for so many years. And now you ain't ready for the blessing. And I said, and he was just basically like, why won't you take the gift, you know? And I was just like in that moment, like my whole perspective changed. And instead of me being the one like basically running and trying to sabotage, I was like, you know what? You're right, Lord. Like you've literally brought this man out of the hinge heavens into my life. Like I need to just stop living in fear and just look at him with new perspective, you know? And I was just like, this is a good man. Like he is what I prayed for. He is kind. He's consistent. He's caring. He loves the Lord. He loves people. He loves me. He loves my family. Well, I definitely would say you love my family, but you like and respect my family. And I was like, I could really build a life with this person. And so, yeah, then it was Christmas break. And so then from that point on, I was like, when's he going to propose? When he's going to propose? When he's going to propose? When he's going to propose?
Nice.
Yeah. For me, just I know you joke saying like, oh, on the second day you probably would have proposed. Who knows? That could be true. But no, like just watching you, the way you are at church and with kids, and just with your family, just that family-oriented woman that you are, and how much you care and love, and you put God first and foremost, and you pray. I was like, those are the qualities of a wife, you know. Those are like amazing qualities, and knowing like what you want, and you say this is what you want, and you mean it. There's no like, are you sure? Even though I mentioned like, are you sure? And you're like, you know, I am sure. But just knowing those things, and just like watching how you are with your family. I know you're going to be a great wife, a great mother, how you are with kids, how you are in the church, just like everything. And the one moment that like sealed it, like, yes, this is the one. Yes, was when I had this hard time telling you like what I was going through, like with my family situation, and I was conflicted, like I don't know if I should tell her. What is she gonna think? Is she gonna judge? Is she gonna this? And then like I just was like, okay, let me just tell her. Because if I don't tell her, I feel like this is gonna hold me back from like proposing and just everything. So when I told her, and he was like, let's pray about it. And that like right there just changed everything. It wasn't just like, hey, let me give you advice or anything. It was like, let's pray and stuff. So that right there was like one of the pivotal moments as well. So
Nice.
This may not even be a question, but what are challenges that you face that made you question your original decision?
Or you can stop it at what are challenges that you face.
Yeah. What are challenges that you face probably on a maybe day-to-day, or
what are challenges that you face?
Yes.
My husband says being concise.
Challenges that we face, we don't really have them right now. In the beginning relationship, we did, because we learned to work through our problems. We worked through a lot of problems because we had a lot of trials in our life. I had kids before he met me, so some of my kids did not like men, did not trust men because of relationships. I've been in bad relationships, so that was a difficult situation, but we overcame that. He couldn't let go of his ex when he first met me. He was still talking. The girl called at 6 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, who is this? So that was a big red flag. I was like, I don't know if I want to be with you because you don't got your mind made up. That was a challenge. We overcame that. I had trust issues at one particular time because I thought that when a man gets mad, he's gonna punch you out. Because I was in a relationship like that where I got, hit or whatever. So I thought every man, like any man, yell in your face like he's gonna hit you. So I had to get through that. We overcame that. Now I feel like everything is surrounded by God. So when we wake up, we pray. So everything, our movements must be in the spirit. We walk in the spirit. So it's not so much gratifying our flesh or what we might need. Because we're not married yet. We're engaged, but we have been celibate for about a year now. It's close to a year. I know people are like, how can you do that? Because you have kids. But even during my pregnancy, I did not touch him. So we're really getting in touch the way the order was supposed to be. I know we started out weird. We started touching each other before we even got to this point. But we're backtracking, but doing things the right way. We're trying to do stuff the right way, the way that will honor God, God.
And the most important thing too, I was going to share too, is about Tiffany. I knew she had children before. I knew, I knew what I was getting into, and I believed that it was a calling on my life because I know I love children. I've always wanted kids. I always wanted a big family. My dad had 5 kids, so it was in my blood to have a big family. But to love this woman through all that and still be there for her children, because there was an incident that happened where, if you don't mind me telling about it.
No.
You don't mind? Okay.
We'll talk about that.
Okay. No. I'm not gonna do that. All right. Well, there was an incident where I basically saved one of her children's lives, and actually put myself on the line. Almost sacrificed my life to save her. And I started crying because I'm like that. I didn't care about myself at that point. I was caring about her children. So that, to me, being a man is more than, oh, this is not my child. No, this is my child. She don't have to be blood. This is my child. So to me, I had to step up as a man and say, look, I want to take care of my children. I'm not going to be a deadbeat dad because that's what society teaches us. I'm not going to be a loser. I'm not a loser. There's no losers in my family. My mom always told me that there's no losers in the Davis family. Okay. We got a bunch of losers and no more. That's it. So I've stepped up to be a man, and I manned up because I actually went to my men's retreat, and that's what made me become a better man. Because I could easily say, well, oh, I got my fiance pregnant, yada, yada, yada. I don't gotta be there. No, I have to be there because God wants me to be there. And I have to be a man and man up. So I have to suck it up, do what I gotta do. And my father was there for me. Why would I abandon my children? That's how I see it. So I went to the men's retreat. It changed my whole entire life. I was around men, strong men, who've been through worse things than me, who suffered gangs and all that stuff like that, and challenged me to be a real good man to Tiffany, and actually hold me accountable. Accountability is so crucial in a relationship. I think more men should have accountability partners.
And I feel like another challenge that we made it through was the wall barriers. I feel like now these past couple months, we're more in touch with each other, and we really know that we're really more the same than different. Because there was one time where he told me, like, you're unlovable. Like, and I was like, I'm unlovable.
Yeah.
I cried, and I just went to this like kind of thing, like I'm unlovable. But now he sees that I am lovable because the walls had to come down. I used to have a wall Tiffany, and I had the regular original Tiffany who's love and kind, but I had the wall because I've been hurt and abused. So that part is just like, I ain't taking nothing from you. I'm independent woman. I don't need you. I can, but the wall came down. I really do love this man, and I do need him. I need him, meaning that life wouldn't be the same without him. I could live life by myself and be happy, but with him, he makes it even brighter. He makes it even more wonderful. Yeah.
And then
so that's what I desire.
Better too, because I couldn't stay mad long. It would be like less than 24 hours. I would apologize and call her. So I was like, baby, I'm sorry. I don't mean to do
or
that.
sometimes we laugh at each other. Like we might have put each other down, but we start laughing because it don't make it stupid. It's like stupid. The stuff you get mad over is like, what in the world are we getting mad over this for? It's
this pandemic. In this pandemic, the whole shutdown, the whole months that we were together, I really realized, man, being a mother is hard work. It's hard, man. I mean, sleepless nights. Oh my gosh. Cooking, cleaning. Oh, it's a lot. Changing dirty diapers, everything. Yeah. I got the whole kit and caboodle. Yeah.
Because I was pregnant, so I went on retirement. So he cooked and he did everything for the kids.
Everything.
I was like, I'm throwing up. I ain't doing nothing.
Zoom meetings. My job, working, cooking, and cleaning. All of it. I did. All of it.
Yeah.
Hands down.
It's that Mr. Mom movie moment right there.
It's called being a dad.
Yeah, being the
dad.
Yeah, everything. Mr. Dad.
Well, what are challenges that you face? I would say a challenge that we face is like Jordan's memory is like not that great. And so a lot of times I have to remind him of things, but I have to strategically time the reminders or he feels attacked. So I'm like trying to find like ways to like remind him without bombarding him. So I would say that's one challenge.
Yeah. I think I have to be more proactive though, because I feel like I can remember. I just have a lot of thoughts, but I would say, yeah, that's definitely one challenge. But like the challenges I would say now are like a lot more trivial than they were in the beginning. You hinted towards it a bit earlier, as far as because Tiffany had like this fairy tale like perception of dating or courting, I guess we called it at that time. Just relationships in general. Like I had to kind of break it down to her. We are two different people coming from two different upbringings. So there's going to be things that we're not going to agree on, and that's okay. We just talk about it. If we can't find a common ground at that time, we just kind of lay it off for the future or talk about it a bit later. Once we got over that hump, things are kind of fine. I know that one thing, they like small things. Like, for example, I'll go in the pantry, won't shut the door all the way. Like, it'll be cracked just a little bit.
No, like he'll walk out, like leave the pantry and just like push the door. I'm like, well, you were there. Why didn't you just close the door?
But my thing is, I'm gonna go back in there at some point anyway.
He doesn't. He likes convenience and not order. So like, he'll put a coat on the back of a chair, and I'm like, it goes in the coat closet. And he's like, but I'm gonna wear it again
when I walk the dog a few hours.
But this man could be like, I'm not done yet. Meaning he like the laptop has been on the. And see, I've been very nice about this laptop. I do not like laptops on the couch. They don't go there. We have shelves. So I would move the laptop because he kept forgetting, and he would get frustrated. Why you keep putting my laptop over there? Because you keep leaving it on the couch. But I'm not done. I don't understand. Like the laptop, he could use a laptop on Sunday. The laptop has been on the couch for probably 2 weeks at this point. I have not asked him to move it. I have not, but I do not like seeing that.
I really appreciate it.
He doesn't even put the laptop. Can you at least put it nicely on the edge, like fold up the charger, float? The laptop be open, chargers across the floor aisle. The dog's tripping. I'm tripping. But just, like you said, they're all like trivial challenges, like stuff. And there used to be a point where we would get mad at each other. I remember this one time. He would not text me and I would not text him. We were dating. But I remember I was counting down the hours. 23 and a half, 24. Well, whole day. He didn't text me. And now we could get upset with each other. And then like an hour later, we're like, so what you want to eat? What are we watching? Something.
Yeah, because it's kind of like at this point, okay, we might disagree, but like we love each other. We're not going anywhere, and we try to limit what we allow to kind of negatively impact us. Like as far as our emotions, the goal as a team is to be as happy for as long as possible throughout the day. Sometimes that's not doable because things may come up. And even like I remember the bed used to be an issue. It's like I don't feel like making the bed. Like I don't see the point in that. But with growth and maturity, I kind of realized, okay, so I don't care whether the bed is made or not, but it makes my wife happy. So I want to make my wife happy. I still don't understand the point in making a bed, but the point for me is, okay, make my wife happy, get her to smile. So I'm learning how to implement that. Small things, shutting the pantry door. All right, I don't care about it. It's not going to reduce my quality of life, but it'll make my wife happy. So that has kind of been like a mental transition that I've been going through, which has helped as well. So
Good.
I'll go. Challenges. I would say that some of our main challenges come from the fact that we're very independent. He grew up as an only child and spent a lot of time doing his own thing in his own world on his own time, in his own way. And I am the third of the seven, but just the way that God made me, I'm also very independent and like to do things on my own time, on my own pace, in my own way. And so you put both of us together and we're both like doing our own thing. And so having to consciously and purposely choose each other, whether that means I have to wait for you in order for us to do it together, or you have to wait for me, or we have to figure out which way we want to do something in order so it's together versus just individually, is a challenge, because sometimes things will be done quicker or even in some aspect better if you do them your way or by yourself, but it doesn't actually build your relationship as a couple. So I think that's a challenge, is like sometimes the thing would be better, but your relationship isn't better. So I feel like that's a challenge for me. I think for both of us, sometimes we can get a little frustrated with the other person, like, are you ready yet? Or are you, and so, or just not even thinking about it. Just like, I just want to make my breakfast and make my breakfast. Like, I want to make my breakfast and make you breakfast. And so, and then I make you breakfast, you didn't say thank you. So why was it worth it? Like, you clearly don't appreciate it. So just trying to be other-minded all the time. Just trying to be a lot more considerate. It's challenging for me, for sure. I feel like if I was considerate, I need to hear a thank you, and I don't always get one. And I struggle with just being considerate because it's the right thing to do. And then I would say just like figuring out what it looks like to be an emotionally supportive spouse without being his support system. And so I want to support you, but I cannot be your support system. And so trying to figure out the balance of that, of like, I see that you're hurting. I see that you're struggling with this. I hear you. I'm here for you, but I'm not a licensed therapist. I'm not a friend group. I'm not a family group. Like I'm one person, and I can't bear all of that. And so trying to figure out what the balance is of being supportive while knowing I'm just one person is hard, because I want to do more, but also know I just literally don't have the capacity to do that. So I feel like that's a challenge. Like, I feel like it's hard to watch your spouse struggle through things and know that you can't give them what they need because it's bigger than you. I think that's challenging. And then I would say another challenge, I would say like the day to day. Like I just get bored, and I'd be like, all right, let's spice up this dinner conversation. Let's do something fun. And I just feel like a lot of times I'm the one like initiating the stuff. And he's kind of content doing the same thing. He's like kind of fine with it. He's kind of fine with like, if we just sit on the couch, he's fine with it. And I'm like, no, like we should go run in the yard, gather all the leaves, throw them at each other, and then see who has the most leaves on their side at the end, and they're the winner. It's kind of like, he'll participate, but it wasn't his idea and he's not coming up with it, So sometimes I get frustrated because I'm like, how are you so content with just the same thing, Like, I want newness, I want spontaneity, And he's like all for it if I suggest it, but I'm like, I want you to suggest it. He's kind of like, well, I don't really need it. So just kind of being like, it's a need of mine that I want him to meet, but it's not at all a need of his, So it's like that type of thing of like, sometimes the stuff that you want is not at all a thing for them. I mean, a smaller example is the bed thing. I mean, it's not like Jordan doesn't need the bed made for his own quality of life, just like Errol doesn't need a new dinner conversation. He could have the same one and he's fine. And I'm like, I'm dying. So just like, I want you to do something and initiate it, though it doesn't at all, you don't need it at all. So that's a hard one of like, he's game for everything, but he doesn't really initiate much of anything.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's true. Let's see. Communication definitely is one. Figuring out what to say at times, or just starting a conversation like with dinner and stuff. I might say one thing and that's it, or even when we're driving. I could stay silent doing a drive. It could be a 10-minute drive or an hour drive, and being in that silence is like, it's fine for me. But I know with you want to have a conversation, so it's like, well,
not anymore. I just go to sleep.
Yeah, she
go to sleep now.
Yeah, now she goes to sleep. But
and then he wants to talk to me.
And then so it's like
that's a challenge we're facing.
That's a challenge. So just figuring out like, how can I be more like intentional with the conversation instead of like bland, like, how's the sky? And it's like, what? Like, how to like bring up better or interesting conversations that we can have on a drive, or even just like here at home. So I know that is a challenge and a struggle at times, a lot. And when there's nothing, it's like how you said with our independent stuff. You do your thing and then I do my things. And there's kind of like that, there's not that togetherness there. So figuring out like, how can we build that togetherness every single day, knowing that you love communication, words, and figuring out all of that. So that is it. Now, 2 questions.
That was the only challenge that we faced.
I mean, no. All right. So I'll be real. So the challenge that we faced was, so I have debt. So that was a struggle for me. For me. Like, she is great with money, down to the cent, and organized, and here's this, and here's the budget, and here's the layout. With me, it's just like, woo! Like, there's like no correlation of money or nothing. And I racked up, there was school debt, there was credit card debt, there was just like providing, and I want to get this, I want to get this.
Cell phone debt,
computer debt, ring debt, every debt you could think of, debt. In my head, I was like, no, I got this. I'll figure it out. I can figure it out. I couldn't figure it out. Even though being a man is like, a man should be able to figure it out. A man should be able to provide. You hear that from every single man who you meet. No matter who they are, they always say provide, and you might think money and this and that. So I'm like, I got it. I'll figure it out. And that was a hard, humbling experience, knowing that you can't figure it out, and you are making mistakes, and you are hiding.
I am.
Yeah. I'm making the mistakes. I am this, that, the other, and it hurt us in so many ways, of like, hiding, like, oh, there's I didn't use the credit card, or I didn't spend this, or I canceled this and I brought it back and I never can, like all of those things. And it's like, well, I'm in my head, I'm like, I'm just trying my best. And you're like, no, you're
being deceitful.
You're being deceitful. You're not telling the truth. You're not this. You're not that. And it's like, like there was that time where it's like, you know what? Like it it hurt me so much. Like it just finally clicked. Like I can't keep hurting her with this anymore. I can't see her cry. I can't see like the pain and all that. So like you said the Dave Ramsey thing, and we did that. And like cutting up all the cards, knowing the first hand I should have just said, here, take them, so I don't reach for them, or I don't.
I didn't want them.
No,
I wanted it to be in your control.
True.
Yeah, I'm not your parent.
True, but in my head, I'm like, I should have just gave it to you, or say hide it, or freeze it in a freezer. I know, but in my head, I'm like, this is like the, huh?
You said freezer? Put it in the freezer?
Like water and then freeze it in a.
Oh, okay. Put it in a
That's a lot, Errol.
Yeah, like it's
a lot.
Like, stay on track.
So, fast forward, lesson learned is that, like, she is organized. I'm learning from her about budgeting.
And it was just never about the money. It was the fact that we were married and he was trying to handle things as an individual.
True.
That was the whole point.
Yes.
Yes.
So, when you're married, it's like a man, you have to like figure it out. You got to get it. You got to money. Like all that stuff was in my head. But now it's like we're on the page.
We're a team.
We're a team. We're working together. We're doing like money meetings and stuff like that. And that is it's a piece.
It's a lot better.
It's a lot better. Yes.
I'm thinking.
All right, so we're going to do one more question. Now we're gonna have the guests choose which one's the best question.
Okay, they can choose one.
Yep.
Okay.
So you can choose one. What are the things that you see in your partner that causes you to grow and be better as a person?
That's option number one.
Or looking to the future, what things are you excited to build or do as a couple? Now, being a couple, what do you decide? Which question would you want? Option one.
Okay, they still pick if they wanted to answer different.
Or option two. Yeah, they could. If you want to switch out.
What was the other question again?
So the other question was, looking to the future, what things are you excited to build or do as a couple?
Oh, okay.
That one's like very thought-provoking. Like that.
And can two different people do two different things? Like if he said he want to do a different question, I don't got to do the same question, do I? Okay. Sure. I'm gonna go to the first one.
First one? All right. Here we go.
His faith is incredible. What happened? Okay.
All right, you're good.
His faith is incredible, and it encouraged me to do better and my faith to be stronger in God. Because I had trust issues. Sometimes you think of God like everybody else, that he'll do you like wrong, or you can't really trust him. But God is nothing like people. He's beyond that. He's a loving, compassionate, great God. And like I said, his faith, and also he had me believe that I can do anything. Like I had a lot of people tell me, you can't do this because you're disability. You might as well, just do a mediocre job, just be an artist or a photographer. I'm not saying it's mediocre, but I had bigger dreams than that. I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a psychologist. So, he really encouraged me to do anything in life and to never give up. Also, I guess his money management too. That's encouraging me because I like to splurge, and when I get stressed, I like to shop. So that one of these good attributes of like saving and being like a person, I used to call it cheap, but like a cheap buyer, like cheap shopping. I don't cheap shop. I get whatever I want when I
Bargain shopping.
want it. But I'm learning now from him that that's not it, because you'll be broke and you won't have nothing. You won't even know where your next meal is coming from if you're going to spend your rent money or your food money, and that's not right. He taught me how to manage my money right. That's a good attribute that he has.
I wasn't always good at managing money.
Hold on, babe. Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So it's really what else that he does that it helps me. Let me see. Like I really feel like I said, his belief in God is the major thing, with the faith, and because I thought I had faith, but when I met him, it showed my faith wasn't that strong. As strong as I thought it could be. Because he doesn't fear nothing. He's fearless, and I had a lot of fears and regrets and stuff, but he inspires me to be a better person each and every day. So I never really had that push in my life, but he really pushes me for greatness. So I appreciate that.
The other question, Errol, can you flash it up there real quick?
Yeah.
Okay. Looking for the future, what things are you excited to build as a couple? I'm excited as a couple because I've always prayed for, this is something I always prayed for, a woman who can appreciate art. Everybody who knows me, I'm an artist, and she appreciates art. She's a dancer. So I would love to build a studio. This is my ultimate dream. I would love to build a studio for youth to come for her dance instructions. And I would love to build an art enrichment program for young people who are in the city, who are inner city youth, who are struggling with whatever, to express themselves, to come out freely and express themselves through arts and positivity. I would love to build that with her and just build a legacy for our children to leave behind. Is the greatest thing I could ever give. And just to build a legacy and they can take over and reach out to people in the world, So yeah, I look forward to doing that with Tiffany, and she's definitely a backbone. She's a ride or die chick. She got my back no matter what, and she believes in me. I mean, and she goes hard. Like we did commercials together. As far as my art enrichment classes that I do over the summer, she's going hard for my books, children's books, even though, things, we got some roadblocks with that, but it's getting there. She's pushed me. She actually went to my house. I remember, I'll never forget. She went to my house and she's like, you got all these sketchbooks. What are you doing with all these ideas? And she's like, I'm gonna push you to get these ideas out there before you die. You're gonna get them out. And ever since then, she's been ride or die for me and just been excited to build with her.
Oh,
so, yeah.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh. All right, Hammonds.
Which
one?
Do you want?
So
This one.
we're both
That one.
This one.
That one.
The build one or not?
Yeah.
The build one. They want the build one.
Yeah, you already started talking. Go ahead.
So one of the things that I'm most excited about is to build a family together. Just observing my wife, her willingness to go out of her way for people, how she extends herself to people. I know that she's going to be a wonderful mother. It's just going to be just great seeing her handle our kids. I know they're going to be set for life. mostly because of like her caring nature. So I'm really excited about that. Building wealth, setting new standards for our family is something that I'm excited about as well, and growing older together. It feels weird saying that now, but like, yeah, we're gonna grow old together. Looking forward to traveling, experiencing as much as I can with my partner for life. Um, yeah, I know that we have a lot of great things in store, and I mean, this is my ride or die. This is my person, so that's what I'm most excited for.
Retweet. Oh, there was another thing I wanted to add though. Oh, I want to adopt kids.
Oh, well,
Maybe we'll do
she
that.
just dropped this.
What?
Here. I don't
No,
think you've
I
ever
did
told me that.
not. I did not just drop this. It must be a reminder. I mean, it's something I'm looking for. I'm excited to do. Maybe we won't do it, but like down the line.
We're gonna have a basketball team because we already want 3 to 5 kids. You're just talking about adopting 2.
We can wait till they're gone-ish. It seemed like there was something else I wanted to do, but I can't remember. Travel, definitely. Kids, yeah. Also, because he's really fun. Like right now, we just have dogs, and like watching him play with the puppy and get her really excited. Like I know the kids will have fun with him because he's fun. So those are the main things I'm excited to do in the future.
Oh.
All right. Let's see. Do you want to go?
You can go, baby.
All right. So I'm going to choose this one. Looking towards the future and building a family together. That is.
That's what that lady was looking for at that photo shoot.
Yeah, I know. That's what she was looking for. She thought.
Had a baby.
Yeah. But no, like, just think about us being parents. Being a dad. Little Rue London Ebanks. We'll work on the name portion of it. But no, just like, I know you're gonna be an amazing mother, and I know we're going to build a legacy for our kids and our family, where we won't have to work for someone else. We would have businesses that we own and we build and we can pass on, but also just knowing that we can help each other and help people out with what we want to do in the community. Like that is the dream and the goal in my mind for us.
That's great. I'm looking forward to the point where I can tame that one hair. I think that one thing I'm really looking forward to is just being really good friends. I feel like we are married, but we haven't known each other for super long, and so I know there's just this point when you're really good friends where just everything's funny. And I kind of want to get to that point, where just everything's funny. I don't know, like, not that you're happy all the time, but it's just when you're really good friends, life is a little bit lighter, you know. And I still feel like right now we're in like the heavy learning phase, just learning all of the ways of like how you want to be loved, how to communicate with one another, our rhythms, our patterns, and all those things will change or whatever. But it's just like when you're really, really good friends, there's just like this easiness that the whole world might be tough, but when you have a good friend, you know that it's gonna be okay. And so I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about the other things you talked about, but I think when it's all said and done, when I look at the end of my life and I look at our marriage, I just want to know, beyond being good parents or beyond being good business people, that we were really good to each other. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, I love you.
That's awesome.
So thank you guys so much for coming.
Thank you, Errol. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Such great conversations. Such
Great.
deep conversations.
He's in his feelings. You can hear it in his tone.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So I appreciate you guys. Love you guys.
We appreciate you.
Yeah.
Signing off.
Thank you for everything.
You guys
Thank
have a good night. Thanks for coming.
Good one.
All right. So this is Every Moment with Errol E. Signing out. Peace.
Oh, peace.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to Every Moment with Errol E. Please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you're listening right now.